Many of you must not know about the core principles of Marxism. ठीक है, हर किसी का ऑप्शनल सोशियोलॉजी है और पीएसआर नहीं होगा. Which principle of Gandhism calls for stateless society? Swaraj based upon village republics. Right? What is the function of public administration? Yes. What is the objective of public administration? Basic fundamental objective, you all wish to be the part of administration, right? Elimination technique that we discussed. If there are two options which are similar, either one of them is the answer. जैसे the यहाँ पे these two are the options. One is the credit system by WTO, second is credit system by IMF. Who is eligible to vote? Yes, 18. ठीक है, यही लिखा 18 years. ठीक है. One common agreement between Gandhism and Marxism is, again, if you know, okay, many of you must not know about the core principles of Marxism. ठीक है, हर किसी का ऑप्शनल सोशियोलॉजी है और पीएसआर नहीं होगा. ठीक है, बट each one of you must know the basic principles of Gandhism, right? Gandhism का basic principle क्या है? स्वराज, नॉन वायलेंस, राइट? ठीक है. सो क्लास स्ट्रगल, सो गांधीज्म क्लास स्ट्रगल एक्सेप्ट करेगा क्या? यस. Will Gandhism ever called for the class struggle? Gandhi always called for the peace, harmony, right? He doesn't call for the class, no struggle. This is abolition of private property. So will Gandhism call for the abolition of private property? No, this is also wrong. You forget about Marxism. Economic determinism. Economic determinism means in the Marxism it is the concept that the society, the foundation of the society or the basic structure of the society is economics. So if you want to change any aspect of the society, be it education system, be it the class relations, be it the caste system, anything, if the economics changes, everything changes. Okay, that is for economic determinism. So cause behind every effect is economics as per Marxism. Okay, so does this apply in case of Gandhism? No, right? Yes. And if no stateless society. No, economic determinism. This with respect to the Marxism, these two are his analysis. This is the, according to Marxism, class struggle and economic determinism are the reality of the present society. Okay, and these two are the parts of the solution that he has given. Okay, दोनों different है. So final goal of the stateless society, again, which principle of Gandhism calls for stateless society? Swaraj based upon village republics, right? Yes. Okay. Next, which of the following are the characteristics appropriate for the bureaucracy? Right, bureaucracy means public administration. What is the function of public administration? Yes, what is the objective of public administration? Basic fundamental objective, you all wish to be the part of administration, right? So what role are you going to play with respect to the public administration? Implementation, right? So role of bureaucracy is policy implementation. Okay. Who has the role with respect to policy making? Executive is policy making, legislature is law making, judiciary is adjudication, and public administration is implementation, right? Where is the implementation? Implementation of public policy. Okay. This is your answer, but again eliminate, let's eliminate. So you know, with respect to bureaucracy, neutrality of the civil servants is essential, right? So will civil servants work for political stability? ये उनका काम है, होगा क्या? तो eliminate. Okay, then agency for strengthening the structure of federalism. Again, within bureaucracy, you have the central services also. Like you have the railway management service. Apart from IAS and IPS, all other are central government employees. They are not at all related to the federalism, right? If the same option they would have given for the this all India services, in that case it would have been correct. But for overall bureaucracy, they have nothing to do with federalism. Okay, then widening the scope of parliamentary democracy, again, it is not related to the bureaucracy because bureaucracy comes under executive, not under parliament. Okay. Next, preamble of the Constitution of India. Again, it is, these are all the static. I'm not going into detail. Okay, it's a part of the Constitution, but has no legal effect independently of others. Okay. It has the legal effect only if it is related to certain provision of the Constitution. Okay. This is given by Supreme Court in which case? Yes, Keshwanand Bharti case. Okay. Yes. The next, gold tranche refers to, it was from the current affairs. Again, यहाँ पे भी one more elimination technique that we discussed. If there are two options which are similar, okay, either one of them is the answer. जैसे the यहाँ पे these two are the options. One is the credit system by WTO. Second is credit system by IMF. है ना? So these two are the similar options. ठीक है, तो ये दो आप eliminate कर सकते हैं. You can pick one of these two. You can, based upon your basic understanding of the WTO and IMF. ठीक है, इन दोनों में से लोन कौन देता है? Who gives the loan? IMF gives the loan, right? WTO is with respect to the free trade, it doesn't give the loans. That is your answer. Okay. That. Then with reference to the provisions contained in part 4 of the Constitution. What is the part 4 of the Constitution? DPSP. Okay. Which of the following statements are correct? They shall be enforceable by courts. They shall not be enforceable by any courts. Again, a simple, these two are the extreme, contradictory statements, right? Right. So in ये दोनों तो फिर सही नहीं हो सकते, right? So you are, ठीक है, उससे भी फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा, ठीक है, कैसे? One of them has to be correct, right? And 1, 2 is not the option. So इन दोनों में से भी कोई option eliminate नहीं हो रहा, कैसे? That is, the principles laid down in this part are influence making the laws by the state. Again, logic basis पे. Again, यहाँ पे you know DPSP are not enforceable, right? So this one becomes correct. ये तो knowledge based question ही है, right? No. Wherever you have the knowledge, ठीक है, don't even think about the elimination technique. ठीक है, if you have the knowledge, अगर आपने पढ़ा है, आपको याद आ रहा है, if you know that is the answer, don't even think about the elimination technique. ठीक है, knowledge is the first priority, elimination technique is supplementary. ठीक है. Then, according to the Constitution of India, person who is eligible to vote, again, कि जो मेथड मैंने बताया था कि substantiation using the example, ठीक है, वो यही पे लिखो. Person who is eligible to vote. Who is eligible to vote? Yes. Anyone above 18? ठीक है, यही लिखो. 18 years. ठीक है. Can be made a minister in state for 6 months even if he is not the member of legislative assembly. ठीक है, minister. So to be a member of the assembly, what is the age limit that you require? 25, right? So only that person who is eligible to be a member of this assembly can be a minister, right? So to be a minister, what is the minimum age that you required? Yes, 25. So is this statement correct? But otherwise, अगर आपने ज़्यादा नहीं सोचा, if you don't read the question carefully or the statement carefully, you can make a silly mistake here. Right? That's why I always substantiate. It is 18 years, it is 25 years. Yeah. Then according to the Representation of People Act, a person convicted of criminal offense and sentenced to imprisonment for 5 years is permanently disqualified. Right? Again, you have one data and one extreme statement. Okay. So this is also wrong. Answer is D. Okay. It is 2 years and it is the conviction period, whatever your conviction period is, and 6 years after. Okay. That. Next. The President of India can summon a session of the Parliament. Again, this is a knowledge-based question. Summon the session of the Parliament at such place as he or she thinks fit. Correct. Constitution of India provides for 3 sessions in a year, but it is not mandatory to conduct all 3 sessions. So, yeah, does Constitution of India provides? Again, wherever Constitution of India defines or provides in such cases, there is no minimum number of days that the Parliament is required to meet in a year. Okay. That is also correct, based on knowledge. Okay. So answer is 1 and 3. Okay. I am considering you have the basic level of the knowledge because last question was very basic. I am not going into detail. Okay. Then with reference to the history, again, this is the either only one elimination technique that we have, the contemporaries are generally incorrect. No. And second, all of the above generally is not the answer. ना तो इसमें आपके बस 1 2 3 eliminate हो जाएगा. Only if you have the knowledge, then only you attempt, otherwise you skip this particular question. ठीक है. So ये I think this is the first question which we are going to skip, right? So just make a note how many we got wrong and how many we have skipped. No? First question where you can skip. ठीक है. कोई लॉजिक नहीं है यहाँ पे. नेक्स्ट यस वो भी क्वेश्चन है. देन रिलीजियस हिस्ट्री. स्थावीरवादीज बिलोंग टू महायाना बुद्धिज्म. ठीक है. लोकातावर्दिन sect was offshoot of Mahasangika sect of Buddhism. The deification of Buddha by Mahasangikas fostered Mahayana Buddhism. Again, जो आपको सिलेक्टिव रीडिंग करनी है आर्ट एंड कल्चर की, उसमें विद इन रिलीजन बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म आर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. सो विद इन बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म, ठीक है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम इट्स कोर फिलोसॉफी, द डिफरेंट सेक्शंस विद इन बोथ, ठीक है, एंड द डिफरेंट टर्मिनोलॉजीज एंड द लिटरेचर पार्ट. ठीक है. दीज 3 आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वंस. सो ये अच्छे से करना है. यहाँ पे आई विल जस्ट राइट, यू जस्ट remember it properly. Okay, after the second council, I will write it here. Second council. Yeah, where was the second Buddhist council? Yes. Where was the second Buddhist council? Where was the second Buddhist council? Yes, it was at Vaishali. पता होना चाहिए. Facts needs to be on your fingertips to clear the prelims. Okay? So during that time, they were divided into Sthavirvadins. This one. Okay. And second section is Akriyavadins. Okay. They had the conflict with respect to the conduct of the monks. Okay. It happened after 100 years of the Buddha's death. Okay. So वहाँ पे कुछ लोग बिगड़ गए थे. Yeah. So जो बिगड़े हुए थे, those who wanted to continue with the same thing, they remained here. Those who wanted a change, they become this. And here, the one, it was further divided into one. It was further divided into one is the Mahayana and second is the this one. Okay, so that was the classification. You just need to remember it. Okay. So in this particular, yes, this you should be able to solve based upon the knowledge. Okay. So इसमें आपका the answer is 2 and 3. Okay. Mahayana Buddhism belongs to the other one, not Styroids. This is the second question. I think we'll be skipping, right? Just note it down. If you don't have the knowledge, you can skip this question. The second question. Then which of the following statements currently explains the impact of industrial revolution on India during the first half of 19th century? Again, the detailing. The first half of 19th century means what is the time period? Yes, till so 1800 to 1850, right? अब रेलवे कब आई थी इंडिया में? 1853, तो हो गया एलिमिनेट ऑटोमेटिकली. हेवी ड्यूटीज, ठीक है. बाकी तो ये ऑप्शन सी इज ऑटोमेटिकली एलिमिनेटेड. ठीक है. सेकंड, मशीन्स वेयर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडियन टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री. तो उन्होंने इंडिया में मशीन्स लाई थी या उनके टेक्सटाइल एक्सपोर्ट किए थे इंडिया में? राइट, दिस इज आल्सो रॉन्ग. देन हेवी ड्यूटीज वेयर इम्पोज्ड ऑन द imports of British manufacturers. Right, they will impose the duty on how. Why would they impose the duty on British imports? Basically, it was one-way free trade where they imposed zero duty on the British imports and higher duty on the Indian exports. Right? This is wrong. And Indian handicraft were ruled. Okay. Then, with respect to the chronology, again, if you have the knowledge, then only attempt. If not, then you directly skip this particular question. If you have the even the basic, because this is the, I think, in last 5 years itself, this is second or third time where they have prepared a question on the chronology. No, I think 23 or 24 maybe a question tha. Okay, so chronology, you try to remember it properly. Okay, इसका answer is C. ये कौन सा question है? Third question, no? Which we are going to skip. Okay, third. And then fourth, which of the following phrases defines nature of hundi? If you have read your economics के banking के basics में ही that particular terminology is given. Okay, hundi is the system of the or the type of the bill of exchange. Okay, it was the letter carried by the or during the time of the trade. Then again, this was one interesting question. Here, the one approach that we discussed with respect to understanding the context. Now, unka background समझो, based upon that you can eliminate options. ठीक है? Then Sakharam Ganesh Deuskar, a book देशार कथा. ठीक है? ये नाम पढ़ के what do you think to which region he belongs to? Yes, Sakharam Ganesh Desurkar. Maharashtra, right? No? Okay, so can he use the word Desh for Bengal? ठीक है, देशारकर तो किसी ने नहीं पढ़ा होगा. Even I hadn't read it during that time. ठीक है, क्योंकि स्पेक्ट्रम में नहीं था. But based upon this, you can at least identify कि he would be belong to Maharashtra. That should be his context or background, right? And being a Maharashtrian, he won't consider a Desh only related to this Bengal, right? So you can eliminate this. You can get mark 1 and 2. Second thing, okay, it inspired the performance of Swadeshi street plays and folk songs. Okay, it was, so that means it belonged during the period of Swadeshi movement, right? So that is during the time of 1905 or something, during that time. You know? So during that time, during 1905 or during that time, was the concept of India only included region of Bengal or was it broadened? Yes. तब तक nationalism आया था कि नहीं आया था? Right? India as a concept emerged after formation of Congress in 1886. No, India as a whole, they started imagining that after the formation of Congress, no, or the unification by the Britishers. Now, उससे पहले अगर if this book would have been during the time of 1700, 1800, during that time we could have said कि this is talking about Bengal. But if it is talking about Swadeshi, okay, that is the period of 1905 or during that time. So at that time, the concept of Desh or concept of nation was broader. It was not limited to this. So again, your option 2 and option 3 becomes yes contradict, right? So ये दोनों भी आपके साथ नहीं जा सकते, तो ये एलिमिनेट हो गया, ये एलिमिनेट हो गया, ठीक है। और इसमें सेकंड कि दिस साउंड्स महाराष्ट्रियन, दिस डजंट साउंड फ्रॉम वेस्ट बंगाल, थर्ड आपका एलिमिनेट हो गया। सो योर आंसर इज सॉरी 1 and 2, आपके 2 and 3 आर दी कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी ना, सो 2 and 3 कैनॉट बी टुगेदर। Right, these two are contradictory, so 2 and 3 cannot be together. No, and 3 is we have considered as wrong. ये समझ है? अब ये बुक किसी ने नहीं पढ़ा होगा, द रेफरेंस ऑफ दिस बुक इज नॉट इवन इन स्पेक्ट्रम, ठीक है, एटलीस्ट इन दैट ईयर स्पेक्ट्रम, ठीक है। पीवाईक्यू आने के बाद उन्होंने अपडेटेड वर्जन में किया होगा, बट इट वाज नॉट, बट सिंपली अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कंटेक्स्ट of that particular person, you can get the answer. ठीक है, then Gandhi Irwin Pact, again this is a knowledge based question, ठीक है। this you know कि this is the elimination, acceptance of Gandhiji's suggestion for inquiry into the police excesses, ये उन्होंने specifically 2 demands reject की थी, which were those 2 demands? One is with respect to the police excesses, and second the commutation of death sentence of Bhagat Singh. Then release of only those prisoners who were not charged with violence. This was also correct. Those who were charged with violence were not released, right? But still, UPSC has rejected this question. ठीक है, UPSC ने ये question reject कर दिया, उन्होंने official answer नहीं दिया है। In 2020, UPSC rejected 2 questions. They haven't given the answers of 2. No, तो इसमें से एक है।